This is section 3.2, and this is part 2 of our lessons out of the workbook. So this is example 3. Now what we're dealing with here is working with weighted means, and that is repeating items, so specifically repeating items. So what happens if we have a lot of items that are repeated? There are some shortcuts there, okay? So everyone looking at example 3, please, with me, okay? Don't be working on their stuff here just right now. Let's all focus on this. It won't be a few minutes, and then you'll understand what we're doing. So it's example 3 says this. In her job as a server at a restaurant, Glenna earns 2 tips of $6, 3 tips of $8, 3 tips of $10, and 6 tips of $12. Calculate the mean tip using 2 different methods. So the first method would be just a simple arithmetic mean, and by that I mean this. If there are 2 tips of $6, you add $6 twice. If there are 3 tips of $8, then you add 8 3 times, and so on. 3 tens, right? 3 tens, and 6 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you count up the number that you have, and that's 2 plus 3 is 5, 8, 14. And so what you do is you add up all the tips, and then you divide by 14 here. And that's how you get your average tip. So that's method 1, just straight out, just simple arithmetic mean. Now the second one is very, very similar, but it just saves you a little bit of time. So let's use this whole weighted mean idea and save ourselves just a little bit of time. So method 2 would be calculating the tip using the weighted mean. So watch this. Instead of adding 6 twice and 8 3 times and adding 12 6 times, why don't you go like this? Let's add 2 times 6, just make that one big group, and add that with 3 times 18. And add that to 3 times 10, and add that to 6 times 12. So remember, 6 times 12, 6 times 12 here is the same as 12 plus 12 6 times, right? And so 6 times. So you're just saving yourself a little bit of time using the same concept, all right? So let's practice this in one of the Build Your Skills questions. All right, let me just zoom in maybe a bit here, I think. All right, so number 7, let's do number 7 together. It says calculate the arithmetic mean of the following set of numbers. Well, there's lots of repeats here. So let's do the shortcut way. Repeats. Oh, there's only one 18. Okay, fine, there's 2 19s. Oh, there's a whole bunch of 20s and so on. So we're going to group all these ones together, and we're going to save ourselves some time. So we're going to go 3 times 16. Instead of adding 16 up 3 times, we're just going to do 3 times 16. Then we're going to add 1 times 18. Okay, and I use the dot for multiplication there. Okay, so in case you're wondering. And then we've got 2 19s. So it's 2 times 19. And so on. How many 20s do we have? 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times 20. 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 4 times 25. And remember, we're adding up each group here. So 2 times 32 plus 4 times 35. Now, we're going to want to add those, of course, but we're also going to want to divide that now by how many number of numbers there are. So you can go back and count the list, or you can do this. You add 3 plus 1 plus 2, and this becomes very quick, especially if you can do some mental math in your head. It becomes very quick. So 3 and 1 is 4, and 2 is 6. 6 and 5 is 11, and 4 is 15, and 2 is 17, and 4 is 21. So we'll divide by 21. Is that correct? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. All right. So we'll add those numbers up, and you can get some practice on your calculator and just do that, and I'll show you the answer in a second. Okay. So do that. Make sure you can get that correct on your calculator, then we'll talk about number 8 next. So your answer should be 24.2, and again, how I did that, there should be a step that you would show in the middle here, and that is like, what is this? 3 times 16. Write that out. What is that? 48. plus 1 times 18, that's 18, plus, and so on. So you write all those and then divide all of those, add those up and divide them by 21, and then you should get your 24.2. Right? So this is the first step right here. And then you have to evaluate each one like that into a number, add them all up, and then divide by the 21. Okay? All right, so I'll do number 8 with you as well, just as a kind of a final example here, and then you can finish up and continue on yourselves. So number 8, I'll get you started on this one. Same kind of thing, 25 students do 1 sport. So Josh wants to know how many sports students in his school practice. He did a survey, and this is what he found. What's the average number of sports practiced by the students in Josh's school? Well, again, we're going to go, there are 25 students that do 1 sport. So that's 1 category. Plus 75 students that do 2 sports, and so on. 32 students that do 3 sports. This is just finding an arithmetic mean the shortcut way. 5 students do 4 sports. And we're going to divide by the total number of students that, right? So we want sports per student. So this is the number of sports up here, the top, the total number of sports, and we'll do the total number of students on the bottom. So what are the total number of students? You have to do 25 plus 75 plus 32 plus 5. So you want to evaluate that and then get your number. You might have a decimal number, so you can show it as a decimal number, that's fine, and round it if you want.
Also, do you want these